I never done no wrong, just a singing a song. Down the trail I ride. The rattlesnake
Singer, Meteorite, named after the man that found it, Samuel Holsinger, in 1911, out here. But today scientists still refer to it as the Diablo Iron, because that's where it was found along the rim of Canyon Diablo, 2 miles west of here. They believe this broke off or chipped off right before the initial impact. Now the second biggest piece in New York City, inside the Museum of Natural History. The third biggest in Chicago, inside the Field Museum, each weighing close to 1,000 pounds. A bit of geology. We're going to go visit the ruins of the old museum. And then finally we're going to be standing right on the edge. Get some exercise, get some sun, get that desert air in us, and get to know Meteor Crater. Let's do it. Watch your step. Here we go. Welcome.
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania, a little bit of everywhere. Welcome to Arizona, guys.
New Jersey.
New Jersey. Welcome.
Thank you.
I have a good friend in Union.
That's Northern Jersey.
Northern Jersey.
I'm Southern Jersey.
So they don't count.
No.
Okay, all right.
New Jersey.
New Jersey as
South
well.
Jersey.
South Jersey, okay.
Yeah, what town?
I'm in Gloucester Township. Near
yeah,
Sommerdale. Oh yeah, right around the corner there.
And what exit is it?
Where we exit 3, I think.
Small world. Well,
In
welcome.
Haddonfield, the first dinosaur bone found in Haddonfield.
Right, the
Okay.
Hadrosaurus, yeah.
All right, that's
Well,
another
welcome.
story.
Jersey, huh? Kansas, welcome. Oregon. Like I said, a little bit of everywhere. I am from. It left the crater at 700 feet deep. But now, due mainly to wind erosion, the crater is 550 feet deep. It is 2 3/4 miles in circumference. And just to give you an idea how big that is, picture 20 football games being played simultaneously on the floor while 2 million people watch on the sides. If the Washington Monument stood on the floor, right now we'd be eye level. Didn't think all that much about this crater. But because he spent so much time in the area, a lot of the locals that knew him and knew of the crater would refer to it as Franklin's Hole. It wasn't until an Hispanic shepherd and of course he would have to be an Hispanic, right? Come on, you guys, with a name like Eduardo. Just trying to keep it lively. It wasn't until this Latino, oh that's right, this year we're Latinos. Last year we were Hispanic. When I was in college we were Chicanos. I am confused. It wasn't until this Latino, Chicano, Hispanic kind of guy, there I got it, found a good sized chunk of what he thought was silver. He keeps it. Finds a few other pieces. But when he finally decides he's going to cash in, have it analyzed, they discover it isn't silver at all. But in fact, 92% iron, 7% nickel, and that 1% trace elements, what you and I know today as meteorite. Gilbert didn't have much information on impact sites because there wasn't any. But he was still, after all, the chief geologist. A good one, too. He was very well respected by the scientific community. I guess the crater was one of his first screw-ups. It was downhill after that for the guy. Another Geraldo Rivera. So much for the Hispanic theory. But they take his word for it. And once again, the crater pretty much is abandoned. 2 of the most down-to-earth people you could ever meet. They go into a long-term lease with the Beringers of Philadelphia, and in 1955, as an afterthought, form Meteor Crater Enterprises as a company. In fact, right here in this little area alone, we have juniper, baby yucca, purple sage, rabbit bush, Indian paintbrush, pinon pine, scorpion weed, Mormon tea. It just goes on and on and on. As one example, the Mormon tea, the bamboo-looking plant, is called Mormon tea because the Mormons used to make their tea out of this long before they settled down in Utah. But you know how, as a rule, Mormons are not supposed to drink anything with caffeine in it, such as coffee or sodas. This has something 10 times strong. But now we have a crater. We also have what we call inverted stratigraphy. And that only means everything is upside down. If you got one and you got another, you got to have a third one. That's an old root cellar. Root cellars are what we call today refrigerators. That's where they kept their provisions, especially in the summertime where it's a lot cooler in there, just like it is in a cave. A root cellar would keep their food and drinks cooler. A potbelly stove, the top of an old washing machine, the bottom of an old sewing machine, a bed frame, a tea kettle, and the root cellar. This was the way of life. This right over here, what's left of it. 11 for Mr. Beringer by his crew. He had a crew of up to 80 guys living and working on the crater floor. There was like a little village down there. They were allowed to come out of the crater twice a week. One for church services that was held out here on Sundays, and another day to go get their groceries from Canyon Diablo by horse and wagon. But Mr. Beringer lived and worked out of here. In 1929, when he finally gave up and moved back to Philadelphia for the last time, some of the local cowboys from the ranch moved in, and they lived here on and off for a few years. But it was a woman by the name of Emma Chilson, excuse me, one of the ranchers' wives, who opened it up to the public.
November 10th, 2011, I'm at Meteor Crater. There's a big group of people. We have an excellent guide. He's giving us a lot of good info. I got the Meteor Crater in back of me. I flew over this 24 years ago when I had my plane. I was up way up high. I took a picture looking down, and I still have that photo, which I'll show to you later. But beautiful day. After this, heading over to the petrified forest. So hope you enjoyed this video. See us all later. Bye-bye.
Do you want all of us to say something on that?
Deeper than I was expecting. I thought it might be deep, perhaps, right? I don't know. It's impressive. It is, very impressive.